Greetings, Richard, Slim.
What's up?
Appreciate your time. Always appreciate
Absolutely.
guys dropping by the Voice newspaper. You're sat in a very astute place. There's a few famous people have sat behind that desk now.
Really?
Yeah. The last person was a Marley, so just saying.
Well, there's a lot of Marleys anyway.
Sort of come out of here.
Yeah.
I went for his lunch. About the last person that sat here was a Marley, some fat man that worked there.
Yeah, was that today?
No, it was Julian Marley. Interviews online for those.
You know what I mean, isn't it? Julian Marley just that in there.
Let's get to the business, guys.
Yep.
You got another show coming up. You're performing at Hackney Empire again. Goes without saying, you must be looking forward to it because I know you've done this Bad Boyz show a couple of years ago, and you guys are just like at Hackney. You're synonymous with Hackney. So talk about what you're looking forward to most about that event. Is it July 28th?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Saturday, July 28th. Looking forward. It's always great working with Richard.
Likewise.
It's I'll said it once, I'll say it again. Me and Richard, we kind of started off at the same time, and like anybody, I don't know if you got a friend from secondary school, if you started off at the same time and you go through the motions, and 25 years later we're still here, and relevant, not just here, and we're still headline acts. So for that alone, to come out and showcase between the two of us. That's 50 years worth of experience in comedy. We're not ramping, We've had people that's followed us from day dot. That still follow us now.
They still follow us. And
we've collected newer generation of fans on the way. So it's always lovely every so often to come out and just give them boom, this is what we do.
Bad tracksuit, by the way, I just want to say.
Thank you very much.
It is a bad tracksuit, actually. I'm sure I didn't comment on that. It's nice.
Yeah, PK. Again, another guy that started in fashion. When we started in comedy, he kept to his thing, and for the last 10 years, he's been, sponsoring me with my bits and pieces, which I'm glad for, because when you have 4 picnic, you can't always afford the good clothes. You have to go to market and pick up £2 t-shirt.
And we're in one right now?
Yeah.
It's not here for long though, so we should enjoy. What can fans expect? I mean, I can kind of gather, I can anticipate, but Rich, what can...
You know what? One thing with us is that we don't cheat our audience. We and we're not knocking any other comedians when I say that, because comedians are really sensitive, right? At
the moment, or just in general?
Just in general. I think it's by moment, my moment, right? But they will find a way to go, man's referencing me, right? And it's like, Slim said that we're still relevant, and part of that is because when we go out on stage, we take no prisoners. Right, do you know what I mean? We're healthy competition even for one another, right? Slim is he is the only person that I would be nervous of when I'm on the same show, and that's no knocking anybody else, but they've got to earn that, because people know how good I am, so they got to earn that thing where I have to go raw, right? But Slim is that person where I'll have to go. I say, when's Slim going on, right? Do you know what I mean? Because if I'm going on after him, it's like, okay,
let's see what's
right. I got to bring it, right? And but he's earned that stripe. Do you know what I mean? And when we was coming up, we were food for each other like that, right? Like a healthy competition.
Iron sharpens iron, sort of thing.
It's healthy,
right? And we're old school, so it's like when you come from that old school generation. That's how it was. Like, if you wanted to learn to fight, you used to play fight with the guy that could really fight until you start equaling him and you go, right, I can really fight now, right? Do you know what I mean? It was, you kind of had to get roughed up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? A couple of slaps and after
catch you that blow.
Then all of a sudden you block it and he goes, hey, man, I know that's what you do, right? Do you know what I mean? But that's what it's been for us. So,
I think the older generation thrive off another comic doing well.
Yeah.
Because you're backstage and that person is tearing it, you think, right, it's my time. You understand? And it raises your game as well. Yeah. If it doesn't raise your game, that means you want the easy route. And there's no easy route.
Shortcuts.
To comedy. The audience tells you what's what.
Yeah.
Your brethren can't, your ego can't, nothing. The audience tells you, we accept you, or we don't.
You must have had so many good nights at Hackney Empire. You must have had so many over the years.
Second home, man.
I can imagine. It must be like home, to be honest. You love the place, and the place loves you.
Yeah.
Give me some of the favourite nights.
Stand
out.
Wow.
Well, the last Bad Boyz is one of them.
Definitely.
To be honest with you, I'll be honest. Got to remember, Slim said it's 25 years, right? So, and we've done Hackney Empire probably about 25,000 times.
Yes.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, but what I will say with Hackney Empire is overall, the audience that come to Hackney Empire come there to give you energy.
Right.
All
The
they want
comedy
you to
audience.
do, all they want you
comedy
to do is
audience.
just deliver. If you deliver, they won't shortcut you.
Yeah.
Or shortchange you. They'll make sure that that joke was funny. We're going to give you what it deserves. They're very much, and because of the way that obviously the theatre is built, when the cheers come in, it really engulfs you.
Right.
So if any comedian will tell you, it amps you. I mean, the laughter amps you regardless.
Yeah.
But there's something about Hackney audience where if you tear it there, you feel somewhat invincible.
Yeah.
Right? Like O2 is great, but O2 feels a bit airy.
That's
Right,
right.
you know what I mean?
This is
Acoustics,
grand.
right?
Where
Yeah. Right. It's like it's like there's a circle around you, so everything's going like this.
Yeah.
Whereas O2, it's a fat plain surface.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of collect it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's one of the things that I would say with Hackney is that doing a show there is probably always the best place to do it, because if you're not good, the audience will let you know.
I'll let you know.
They'll let you know. You don't need to like second guess.
You're both OGs in this, like 20 years plus, and I touched on it before the interview started, Slim. We did a piece on you last year celebrating your 2 decades
Yeah.
of stand-up.
Yeah.
And, not too many people have 2 decades of anything.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
realise
Let
that.
alone being in one industry for as long as you. Have you peaked?
No.
Talk about your future ambitions then.
My
Talk
future
Talk
ambitions.
about what you'd like to do.
I'd
'cause-
like to. Initially, I'd like to travel a bit more.
Spread
I
the
think,
brand.
yeah. I mean, I'd never give up hope of being mainstream in England, but
Sorry.
coming up, I've watched the likes of, which I'm really glad, Richard's career,
Yeah.
Jeannie Yashure's career, and it's opened up my eyes to how the industry can be
Right.
and how they want.
Still learning off each other then.
We are. Do you
Love
know
it.
what I mean? So when we see Richard fly, we're glad. Gina. So myself, I've stayed on the circuit, but I've made sure I've stayed relevant. I'd like to travel more, rather than stay here and end up on maybe a panel show, which that's all right, but that ain't really me.
I get it.
I'd rather leave and be like in a comedy movie or some kind of sitcom. Panel shows every so often, but that's not what I'm aiming for, to leave and be on, have I got news for it, and just do that. So I'd like to travel more. I'd like to be a more international comic, per se, like Jeannie Ashtray. Jeannie, you never know
She's
what
all
she
over the
is.
place.
She's like 007 of comedy.
Yeah.
She'll
Yeah,
be
she's
in
turned up.
Canada 1 minute, then she'll be in, Thailand the next minute.
That's right. Yeah.
Australia, Sri Lanka. So she is relatively more known worldwide than what even we
We
are.
are. Yeah. Most definitely.
Spoke to her the other day actually.
You see what I mean?
She's doing bits. Yeah.
So really, that to me, that is where slowly I'm aiming for. I won't always be here. So you lot better love me while you can. Because when I'm gone, I'm gone.
Richard,
He ain't even playing with you.
Richard, talking about peaks, EastEnders is a great platform, but I think, and maybe it's people of a certain age, people forget you already had your own show,
2000,
right?
I started in
Right.
98.
And I talk about this often, and this means a lot to me personally, because black people don't have their own show,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
their own name on the
Yeah,
show. The
absolutely.
Richard Blackwood show. I mean, you was way above, way ahead of your time in that respect.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think people really forget that and don't really acknowledge your journey and how much you've contributed to, broadening the appeal of black comics.
I think that's in general, that is taken that, not just in comedy, I think in general, the younger generation, they don't pay homage like back in the day. You say,
Different climate
with
now.
us, we'll say Felix Dexter, Curtis Walker, whatever. Even rappers, I never hear them shout out the old school
No.
rappers where it come from. By rights, every black musician from Wretch to whoever, and not picking on Wretch a brethren, but I'm just showing you, every British black, they're supposed to pay homage to people like
Demon
Musical
Boys.
Youth. What are you talking about?
I thought you saw it just in rap. but
Musical
yeah,
Youth, think about it.
Yeah, from
They're one
Birmingham.
of the first black group of boys you saw on the telly young, in their teens.
They like you.
That,
They influenced us.
that hit #1.
I met them and I was a
#1 in Britain, for months.
fan. Pastor Dutchy was huge.
Overly massive.
right? And then it brought reference to the original, right? Do you know what I mean? Like we as kids didn't realise that it was an original old school Jamaican train. It's like, oh
That's
my gosh. Right? So
it's paying homage. As I said, it's not a popular thing now to pay homage from where you come. You're just there, ain't it? Now,
yeah. No, it's.
I really wanted to speak about like how the last couple of years have impacted on that. Maybe it does, because EastEnders is every day in every home. It does inspire kids to go and maybe have a look at what
YouTube
you've done.
and what I've done.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you find your stocks risen as a result of being in that platform? And just talk about the last couple of years and how that shaped you, and maybe you're thinking about how you move forward.
Do you know what? Well, it definitely has done that. I mean, you know, this is a very fickle business, right? And I understand that. I'm not sensitive about the business anymore.
Right.
When I was started out, I'm a sensitive human being as it is, but definitely with this business, it would definitely do that to you. And then you become hard like stone, right? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not nice to you. So with EastEnders came at a time when there wasn't really much happening for me. And I knew when I signed on the dotted line that my career was going to change. Instinctively, everybody was like following me, blah blah. Friends that didn't holler were hollering. It was a different time, right? But I knew who my people were. My people were always my people. Like Slim was always people from day one. Like he never changed, right? Do you know what I mean? But I saw people around me, right, changing, and like, yeah, man, holler, and I'm like. And I'm quite hard. I'm like, I'm not hollering. What am I hollering for? I never hollered you before, right? But like you should be embarrassed, right? Do you know what I mean? But what happened was that I used to search for clips of stuff that I'd done that I couldn't find on YouTube. Now all of a sudden people are posting it because it's relevant, right? And I was like, oh my god! Like I did the Get With The Wicked video. I could never find it, and we shot it in Jamaica. That's the reason why I went to find it, right? And then all of a sudden it's there, and I'm like, somebody's gone, Richard Blackwood. I've got that video, right? So once again, because I'm not sensitive, I understand like, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not, right? And that's the reason why. So people say that they feel humility from me, and it's more to do with the fact that years and years ago, Leo X Chester, right? We was in the. You remember the was it called in Brixton, the crypt?
Oh,
downstairs,
the church in the middle, St. Matthew's. Remember they used to hold stuff.
They used to have comedy in there, yeah. So anyway, fire hazard, right? Absolute fire hazard, right? But like, he couldn't get out.
They're just bury you on the site.
That's why it's called the crypt. Right? This wasn't dead, isn't it? Like, no one's coming for you. You're already there, right? So what it was, I remember I think I'd done a Real McCoy, and I was doing blouse and skirt. My name was buzzing, and on the circuit it was definitely buzzing, right? Definitely. And I never forget, Leo was standing there with the Nation of Islam, and he pulled me aside and he goes, Richard, because I'm watching you, right, and a lot of things are happening for you. He goes, I've got one piece of advice. Never believe your own hype, right? And he goes, do you understand what I'm saying to you, right? And I said, yes, I do. And he was like, you'll be fine. And he probably doesn't know, but to this day, I adhere to that every day, because he knew you're going to take off. He could feel it. You can feel when somebody's
about to blow.
Yeah, he could feel it. And his thing is like, you're going to go to a place that probably a lot of us haven't been, right? So it's going to be very hard for you to gauge what's reality, what's not, blah, blah. But if within yourself, you understand that these people didn't care before you got here, so why they care now, you'll be fine. Yeah. And that's my sensibility. My thing is like, I appreciate all the love that I get, but I also remember when my phone was not ringing. I remember it vividly, right? When I went bankrupt years later after that point, I remember, you would have thought that T-Mobile had nothing to do with me. It felt like, I didn't even know if I still had a contract.
That lonely,
I was that lonely that I didn't know if I didn't even get the operator to call me and say, like, listen, you want your phone disconnected? Because no one seems to want to call it.
How did you deal with that period, mate?
Once again, right? Because you feel woe is me, and you feel like you're being persecuted. But I had good friends and people around me that was like, you're a fighter, you're a fighter. Keep coming back, you're a fighter. Like when I was coming back on the circuit, Slim was like, you're a fighter. Slim talks to you like a dad, so he's got the finger. Slim like, listen, don't worry about them, you're funny, blah, blah, and you just see this finger in your face, right? You're being told. But he's like, Richard, go out there, do what you do, blah, blah, right? And that's what you needed. And I go, all right, cool. He goes, listen, what did I just tell you? Got there, right? So I got there and I kill it. And he goes, I come off stage. He goes, what did I tell you? You're Blackwood, you know, right? He would do, and that's what he would do all the time, right? No, it is. He was always like that. He was like, listen, don't worry about them. It's you. And
I said to him the other day, to go away for a set period of time and come back and do comedy. If you ask any comic, if they go away for 2 weeks on holiday and don't do a gig, when you come back, the first gig, don't matter how long you've been around, you feel nervous.
Nervous
Like
as
if Richard go away for months or sometimes a couple of years at a time while he does other projects. Then he comes back and he still goes in. That's why when he comes back, first thing I say is, nice to have you back. Always say nice to see you back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now go out there and do you.
Yeah, he's
you know
very
what I mean?
much like that.
Who's been your Leo then, Slim?
Curtis Walker.
Right. What did talk to us about his influence on you?
Like a dad as well. Curtis really, as well. Is when they say don't believe in the hype, be glad for yourself. But don't pop style.
Yeah.
It's a very much West Indian thing, especially Jamaicans.
Humble yourself.
Yeah, they'll be glad. We're all glad for a man that does good, especially from the ghetto, and he does well for himself. But don't pop style.
Yeah.
Don't come in now and you're better than everyone, and people don't like that. People are actually quick to switch on you for that.
Yeah.
You understand? Just be yourself.
Is anyone
Don't believe your own hype, because they will switch on you if they needed to. As I said, watching Richard. He went through his dramas and watching who still showed him love, to who wanted to talk rubbish about him.
Yeah.
Again, as I said, I watch celebrities and people's famous to gauge what's real for me. That's why he's been like a teacher to me. I'm saying, look at David Beckham. He was the darling of England. You know,
when he kicked
you remember when he kicked that brother?
Yeah.
Did you see how people switched on him?
Oh my
This
God.
is a white youth,
Yeah.
That was
the
held
captain of
up
England
here,
at the time.
captain of England, couldn't do nothing wrong, and he
And
kicked
the
the
guy said
brother,
something about
got
his
sent
child.
off. They switched on him, and even me, I was like, how can you switch on your darling like that? And I thought, right, if you can switch on him,
Nobody's safe.
nobody's safe. So it's always given me a kind of gauge of, as Richard say, what's real, what's not. Somebody says, can I take a picture? Always got a time.
Good.
If someone stops you, Slim, blah, blah, always got time for the public. Some people coming out and say, oh, no, not right now, and never. Don't matter what I'm doing. My family don't even want to walk with me no more.
Because of that.
Because of that.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You mentioned Leo, you mentioned Curtis. I mentioned off camera, I think it was off camera, that we're doing, The Voice is doing a special edition of the paper, souvenir edition, so grab one. Grab a couple actually, for the Windrush, to mark 70 years of the Windrush. In that time, obviously we've seen an evolution of black people on TV, on-screen representation has increased.
Yeah.
Let's talk specifically the comedy world. Leo's, Curtis's, Real McCoy's, Lenny Henry's. There's so many people that have contributed to the rich tapestry of black comedic fabric. How do you see it now, and where's it come from, and just kind of what's kind of been the most poignant of that journey for you?
It's a tough one. Like the black circuit, it has its stages of developing new stars. So when Muslim and I started, our peers were Curtis and Ishmael, Jeff Schumann, Leo Chester, Jefferson and Whitfield.
Roy Diamond.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Roy Diamond.
Yeah.
Remember?
Right.
Man, so
Well, he's my cousin.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Felix.
Felix
That's
Dexter,
it,
yeah.
great Felix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the people that we aspired to be like. We had to. I remember the first time I had to follow Curtis, and Curtis is a doctor when it comes to stand up. He's surgical.
The Godfather.
Yeah, he's got that name for a reason. When he goes on stage, he's so good that he leaves it like, if you can follow that, and it's not because of the raw. It's the material. It's very surgical. It's the only way I can describe it. Right. Yeah. So I remember it was one gig out of London, and he had to shoot off, so he had to go on before me. Right, and I remember he tore this place down, right? And he said, "Yeah, gotta go, Rich, man, have a good one." He didn't mean it in a bad way. He had another gig. He was double booked, right? And I remember my friend Mark at the time said, "Yo, right, Because as he's leaving, they're still laughing. I'm like, he's not even on stage no more. Like, he's left the building and people still like, run that joke. You know, he hasn't sit down yet. Right? What, you know, I'm like, yo. And then, so they call him my name. They're like, audience is still laughing at his jokes. And I go, no, you got to get them to simmer down first. Right? Do you know what I mean? Right? Because I wasn't used to knowing how to ride that laugh to continue it. Like now, I can ride off the joke. I can say that funny laugh, what he said there, boom, and you, it's like, so you just jump on a path that's already led. But sometimes if you don't know how to do that, you come out and you go, so biscuits, and they go, biscuits? He just talked about slaves and how that, you just said biscuits, we can't follow you, bro, you better come again. So he did that, and I remember I didn't know how to do it, so I kind of started off really slow, and the audience was building back up, and maybe the last 5 minutes I had them, right? And my friend, I came off, my friend said, you're a true veteran. He goes, because to be honest with you, the show's already over, right? And you somehow you dig it. I was, but that's what the circuit was like. The circuit was, I produced real comedians, right? That you had to know your craft. Like I just described about riding the crest of a wave of a highlight. You don't just learn that. You don't just like, trust me. It's like, you know, imagine you see somebody like singers and they will see a person that, like, you know, there's competition, right? And like you see somebody kill it and then they go, all right, you next. And that person's coming up going, this person just murdered it. Right? Do you know what I mean? Right? And it's the same with comedians. Like, the comedian just goes bang, bang, bang. Like one time we did Kojo's thing with the TV appearance when Slim blew up from that. Right? Phone House. And he did so well, I couldn't follow it. I did okay, right? But it was Slim's night. Slim went wham, wham, wham. And I remember I said,
champagne.
I said to Kojo, you have to talk a bit longer. I can't. This ain't gonna go too well. And like I already knew that. I was like, this ain't gonna go too well, right? And like I did my thing, and I came out all right. But my thing was like, no, it was Slim's night. And
that's what I think that done for me. I had a set following, older following that gave me a younger generation.
It did, yeah.
You know, because there's guy. I saw a guy on Friday in Newport. He said, I remember watching you when I was younger, 12, 13, on that, and he was trying to think. Is that long ago now? Well, 2009. He'd have been about 23. Now. So he's talking when he was 13, because then 10 years ago. Wow. 2009, 2008. So he's saying when he was young, and he's actually followed me from a 13-year-old, due to the Kojo. So I've got a new generation. I've got a new generation of fans. Supporters, fans,
Talk about the younger generation, how the game's evolved then. Because
it's different. Everything now, right? Evolves. You've got the internet.
It's different. So how has the internet changed the game for you? And you touched on, Richard, and I want both opinions. The stage gets you ready in terms of preparing your craft.
Yes, it does.
Right? So what's getting them ready now? They're not all on stage, right?
No, real quick, I will say, and Slim's been on the circuit longer than me in terms of, but I've been on and off, right? So what I have noticed from an outsider looking in is that they're doing a lot more sketches now on social media, because sketches now seem to be the thing that gets through the door, you know, and it's great and everything, but at least with some of them, they're comedians first. So they know that you're bringing an audience, so when I do stand-up, it's fine, because it's what I do. But then you have these ones that started off just doing sketches, right? And then they've got to now transfer that to stand-up. And I've seen a lot of them go out there and have a warm time, right? Because it's not the same, right?
A warm time.
Warm, you can't say any better.
Just even in I saw one of the guys from Desmond's that tries to do comedy.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember? And they gave him a warm. They knew who he was, so I think that the expectation was much higher. Right. And as I said, it's one thing. Audience, you can't beat that. No matter how. There's different avenues and categories in comedy. So I'm not going to say stand-up's the only one. But sooner or later, when you're good in all the other fields, you know what people like to see you live. And that means in front of an audience. No matter how much sketch is popular, oh, we love this guy, he's really funny on sketch. Somebody hire him now, book him so we can sit down live. And you can't say stop. See if me and you's filming now, you can say stop, no, didn't like that, read whack a bit, that. Stage, you can't do that. You say something wrong, it's just said wrong, carry on. Do you see what I mean? It's like an exam. You mark it wrong, that's it. So you can't beat that. And I'm not sure how it is evolving, and I'm not going to knock any social network comedian out there, because they're out there doing their thing. But as I said, all roads lead to a stage. sooner or later.
Yeah.
And as I say, that can actually ruin your career if you're really hot on the internet, and then people see you.
It's like fraudulent.
Yeah. After a while, they just
Or
say,
limited.
yeah, or they'll say you're just on the internet.
Just that. But let's get back to business then. July 28th. All roads lead to Hackney Empire.
Yes, it does.
Just you two? No one else?
Does it need anybody else?
It doesn't, right? Really. I just think like, you might share the
Sit
platform.
down,
You know what I mean?
you
Pick
eat
someone
the-
might
No,
be
but
a
drink-
surprise guest or warm up or something or an announcement.
Oh,
Eddie Caddy's on.
There you go.
but you know what it is.
I had to give you a shout, Eddie.
Yeah, no, Eddie's my people. But the truth is that that's one of the things for me that I don't like.
Right.
Is that when I see people, and this is just my opinion, but when I see people, let's say, doing one-man shows and there's 6 people on the bill, it's not a one-man show. Right? Do you know what I mean? You only need so many warm-ups. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you know, Slim can tell you, right, when I did my one-man show, Kat hosted it for the first half, which was about 30 minutes. I came out and I did an hour and 45 minutes, right? Like, that's, my thing is that people want to see you. But then I remember what somebody said to me, though. When I did one man, they said, so who else you got on the bill? And I said, well, me and Kat. And they said, so, you know, how are you going to sell tickets? And I'm like, that's the point. You don't do a one man unless you know that you can do that. Yeah. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, because otherwise all you're trying to do is boost your ego, but it's not been boosted because it's like, did you do that? Did you do all that by yourself? So like with Slim and I, when we did it last time, Kevin J hosted it, that was it. We didn't need nobody else, right? Kevin J killed it, brought myself out. We did 2 shows, so one came out first and then the other one did it the other way around. You know, we swapped. Right, but we went out there and we did, I think it's 40 minutes, 45 minutes, or whatever. Killed it, came off, right? People came away and went, hence the reason why for the second show, it was a brilliant show. Same thing again. It's us two, right? Do you know what I mean? We don't need, because that's like saying to me, and I'm not knocking anybody, but that's saying, I'm not ready to give them another 20, are they warming up yet? Are they warming? And it's like, no. If I watched Richard Pryor live in concert, one of his best stand-ups. You watch the beginning, Richard Pryor doesn't even come out to his name. He just walks out, right?
It's true.
He walks out. That was so instrumental for me. He walks out and he goes, I love seeing white people trying to rush back to their seats. But what you don't get, what he's saying is that I didn't get introduced on. Patti LaBelle just came off, right, which they didn't get to film. He comes out and he makes a joke about people running down to their seats. And he goes, get back to your seat, and the guy's taking a picture, blah, blah. But he's making jokes about that. It started. He has 90 minutes. I've started now. You better find your way to your chair, but I've started. I don't need no big ladies and gentlemen. It's just like, no, guess what? Give me the mic, chop. Let me just go out there. Because I guarantee somebody said to him, let's introduce you on. He's like, just give me that. Right? Do you know what I mean? And people that will tell you, it's one of the best stand-ups he's ever done. Comes out there, he kills it. So I say that to say that Patti LaBelle, he didn't have another comedian on. He had Patti LaBelle.
That's it.
She sung, and then he went, now I'm going to do my jokes. Right? Do you know what I mean? And it's the same thing. We're comedians of the ilk that it's like, just give me the mic. Right? Just give me the mic and we'll do the rest. But I don't need you, and you. Right? This is us. Right? So with us now, we've solidified ourselves enough on the circuit that people kind of know what they're coming to get. And it's like, you're coming to get us. That's it.
Well, good luck, guys. I'll be
Thank you
there.
very much.
Yeah, cool.
You got a
free or you
ticket?
paying?
Because we never get
I'm a journalist.
I go watch our
Wait,
Rasta man.
he said
I'm
he's a
invited.
journalist.
Just invite up himself like that, journalist.
Ain't nobody saying that they've
I've been invited.
I'll be there.
I've got a handful of tickets. I'm only joking. You'll see. I'll pay, and I'll make more people pay as well. So it's worth it. I hope you man keep going another 25 years.
Yeah, man.
More
Thank you.
success to you.
Thank you.
More
Thank
power.
you, bro.
Respect.
Thank you very
God bless.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.